Hey, my friend Rodney Walker here, just doing a little biking, and I decided to take a break and talk to you about this whole thing about grant writing for artists. Now, I know you may be an artist right now, and I don't know what kind of artist you are. Even as you kind of hear in the background, I have somebody playing, and in my mind, that person is an artist as well. But in this particular video, I'm going to be sharing with you some information about being an artist and writing grants as an artist. The first thing I want to kind of address in our time is it worth it? Should you be going after grants and doing grant writing for artists? Is it worth your time? And secondly, if so, then what's some of the best ways to kind of go about doing it? So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you briefly in this video. I may make some other videos to help you. I have a lot of other videos that you can check out later on. But for now, let me just kind of address this issue. Is it worth it? First of all, as an artist, there are a number of needs that you have and a number of ways that you can possibly apply for some grants that may be applicable for you. For instance, you have supplies that you need, right? The paint supplies, the canvases, things for your sculptures. Well, that's one need, and there are foundations or funders that are committed to helping you. So in one end, you have an opportunity to have somebody to fund, give monies to what you're about to help you to do a better job. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm simply saying is that they can come in, bring some funding your way that can alleviate you having to pay for it yourself. Now, there's some other things that funders will tend to fund. Funders tend to fund things such as sometimes sabbaticals. Also, they will do residencies for artists. So maybe you're an artist that will come in and work with their organization for a period of time, whether that's 6 months, 3 months, a year, and they will compensate you while you do a residency there at their physical location. And they may have you doing some other things. For instance, they may have it set where you may teach some classes on art or do some other things. But again, this is funding that helps you to allow yourself to be able to express yourself in the creativity that you have. Now, I did make mention, I'm an artist as well. When I went to undergrad, I did an art degree, a BA in art from the University of Texas. So I get you when we start talking about this whole artistic thing and creativity that you want to express. Now, let's look at grant writing. Let's assume that yes, you know that you for sure want to do this grant writing thing. What are some things that you should be thinking about? Well, here's my brief, quick suggestions for you. First, you want to make sure that you gain a good understanding of the whole process. The process of writing a grant isn't rocket science. It isn't something that's super complex, but you do want to have an understanding of how to do it. And let me say this, when I say understanding of how to do it, the general ideal of being able to write a grant is pretty consistent across the board. So if you've taken any type of grant writing class, it can help you to have an understanding. The difference is when you're doing grant writing as an artist, it's just a little different in that what it's going to be doing, you're going to be actually writing for yourself in most cases, unless you're doing it on behalf of an organization. Most of you are going to be doing it as individuals, and so there's a smaller pool of funders that will fund individual artists. They do exist. So two things we want to do. We want to find what is that go-to resource that you can go to find out about all the opportunities that exist. And I'll tell you real quickly and short, the number one tool that most people go to for this is something called the Foundation Online Directory. And in that directory, it provides you all those opportunities, and it provides it to you in such a way where you can break down and look at it by state and things of that nature to see, hey, which funders are given in my state. You can even break it down to city. You can even break it down to a region. So we want to make sure that we find what are the funding opportunities. And then secondly, you want to know how to tell your story, because a part of what you're doing here is really marketing, okay? You're really marketing, but you're telling your story from A to Z about what you're proposing to do if they give you a grant, okay? Now, time won't permit me to go into much greater detail here right now, but I'm gonna be doing some other videos to address grant writing for those of you that are artists, because what we wanna do is you wanna learn this, because how does your life change this year if you're able to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grants, and let's say for example you get 3 of them funded for what, $5,000 or $10,000? Does that make a difference in your life? Well, if it does, then my friend, you want to learn this and think about the business side of it. Now, let me say this. I know as an artist, sometimes it's easy to want to concentrate just on the creative side. But if you'll take some time to invest in learning this skill, I believe that it will help you to have more freedom to be able to do more on the creative side, because you will have the resources that you need that will allow you to be able to do more of what you want to do, so that we can see that work that you have, whether that's painting, sculptures, modern art, whatever it is, okay? Now, I'm going to be putting some other videos here later on for you to help you, and what I want to encourage you to do is, if you found any of this helpful, just subscribe. I have a ton of other videos that go into greater detail about this. We're going to be looking more specifically though at grant writing to help you as an artist. And if you are interested in learning about grant writing in general, I want to invite you to go over right now to grantcentralusa.com. Look for the link that says coaching. I have a program designed to help you right now so that this won't be as fuzzy. And what I'm going to encourage you to do, whether it's my program or some other program, is to invest in some program to learn this quickly. And then once you learn it quickly, then to start nurturing relationships with funders, okay? The name of the game is relationships, okay? Not just writing a grant, but developing the relationships that are gonna help you to get funded. And if you'll do that, my friend, guess what? I believe that you'll get funded, and I'm looking forward to helping you to do so. So until we talk again, remember, be brave. I want you to be bold and be brilliant. Take charge.